My name is Michael Begay. I'm the owner and funeral director here at Valley Ridge Mortuary. We're located in Tuba City, Arizona, on the Navajo Indian Reservation. Death is not a natural part of our life here as far as traditional beliefs are. I mean, it's almost like a taboo, I guess you could say. Families are kind of caught off guard, I guess, when someone passes. They're not prepared for it. They haven't talked about it. They haven't made any arrangements, or we have to guide families through it. And COVID has really changed how we operate here. We don't take the body out of the body bag. We want to keep everybody safe, especially my staff. And then when we do the burials, we want to keep the families safe. I'm not embalming any bodies that are COVID positive. Even with our regular burials with caskets, we keep them in a bag and lay the clothing on top. With traditional burials, what I started implementing too is not to keep the bodies, even though they're wrapped in blankets, outside of any container. We started using some wood containers to contain the body, similar to a casket, and do the burial that way. I can tell you our stats from the past 2 years were around 270 per year. And right now I looked at our count, it's 517, and which is almost double what we were doing before. So, and that's because of the pandemic and the amount of deaths that are occurring with COVID. Since the pandemic started, we'll say late February and March, we were averaging like 63% of our cases, total cases, were COVID related. But there was in there, I think there was like less than 10% that were unknown. So whether they were COVID positive or not, we didn't know. Those were the people who were not tested.
How do you know that it's a COVID positive?
Not to be too graphic, but one thing I always see is purging. Yeah.
What's that?
It's just the expelling of fluid through the oral cavity, sinus cavity, and it's kind of unstoppable. So that just tells me there's a lot of fluid in the lungs, and it's not fluid that's going to go away. It's going to continue. So that's one thing I see. And again, not to be too graphic, of course, but the excrement, and so that's there. And again, it's something common with most of these bodies. And so those are things I see. Mostly it's the purging. So.
So the excrement, that's stool?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. What would cause that?
I think diarrhea is one of the symptoms. And so I've seen that in several bodies, actually. So we went through a period of time, probably like three months into it, that we were just really burning out because of the numbers that we were seeing. Things were really chaotic, I guess, and we were just trying to keep pace with everything. And at one point I did have a temporary storage unit here. It was a 56-foot semi-trailer that we had here that we can help with our storage. And so I don't have that unit here now. So, but our capacity is running about 90% with our storage units. So the best we can do is try to get these burials done as quickly as possible, so we don't run out of space. So, I've heard early on that it was like the flu, but during flu seasons, I don't see these numbers. I don't need a temporary storage unit during flu season. So it's not the flu. It shows that it's for real. It's dangerous. It's deadly.